You've been called master teacher. When did you know music was your passion?
Actually, when I was a young man, I was a football player in high school. That's all I wanted to do was play sports. And we moved into a neighborhood where a bunch of guitar players were all around me. And so I decided, the guys asked me, "You gonna play?" Because everybody else play. I said, "No. If I was to play anything, I'll play something different from what y'all got. I would play violin or something." Okay, and I kind of left it alone, being around the environment. And so later on, God put a desire in my heart, a zeal on me. I had the zeal to want to play then, that God did. And he touched me with his spirit. And so I asked the guy, I had a little piece of guitar, a little raggedy piece of guitar, 2 strings. Went next door to a friend of mine's house and said, "Just teach me a tune." And so he taught me that tune, and I went home. I practiced that tune. And till I mastered that tune. And I said, "Well, I got to learn something else." So I went back over to his house and asked him to teach me something else, and he taught me something else. And I went home and mastered that. And then after that, I started listening to music like on the radio, James Brown and a lot of the Isley Brothers and the different singers. And my cousin had a record player, right? So this record player, I asked her for it, where I can start using it. And I got that record player over to the house and put on, I got the music, James Brown, Luther Frank, all that different music. And I listened to it, and I tried to copy what they were doing. And I got pretty good at it. It was like it was meant for me to do. It was a gift. So I got to playing, I tell you. And my brother-in-law came over to the house. I was so impressed with what I was doing. I said, "Listen to this." I said, "Dum, dum, dum," playing Popcorn by James Brown. And boy, I hit the lick. I'm playing right along with the record, and it was right on key. And one day my oldest sister came to me and said, "Why do you play that thing so much? Why you be on that all the time?" I say, "Because I want to be the best at it. If it's my gift, I wanna fulfill and be the best that I could be at what I'm supposed to be doing." So that's how it began. So, and I still had no raggedy guitar. I made a bass out of it. And some little guys in the neighborhood, one of the guys had a toy drum set, and the other guy had a little guitar. So I had to play bass. So I made me a little 4-string bass out of regular guitar. And we got to playing. We just practiced so much, and till we got really good. And around the neighborhood, it was a bunch of drunks around there, people that have a little party and get drunk all the time. So they got us to come around and play for them, and they pay us a couple of dollars like that. We did it, and so that's how we began. We got started, and so I played, and so one day, I was at my at home, and I walked around to the church. It was a church right there in the neighborhood. I walked around to the church, and there I seen my brother-in-law. I didn't know him as a brother-in-law then. He wasn't my brother-in-law, but the guys that were in there singing and playing them guitars. Ooh, I like that. you know. So I started hanging around them, and so till they got me on the group, they put me on the bass, and I started playing bass with my brother, with trumpet, my brother-in-law, playing the guitar, and I went from there on, and then he stopped playing, and then another friend of mine came in playing guitar, and I was playing bass. So I started out playing bass guitar, you know, and I got pretty good at it, you know. Not only that, you know, like I said, I love football. I was playing football, but I was in high when I went to high school. I was on the band. I played saxophone. I also played saxophone. I learned the saxophone in school, played on the marching band, and so that's another part of my upbringing with the music, you know. So it's like that.
Awesome.
That part, yeah.
So,
And I'm gonna finish telling you. And so I moved from that, from playing gospel and playing with my little buddies to getting on. The guy needed a bass player on a major, kind of a major group, you know, BJ and its Soul Creations. And I went and auditioned, you know, auditioned for him. Actually, I went. The bass player couldn't make it to a program, to a gig, and I practiced with him, and I went to that gig, and I played it so well till they fired him and they hired me. At that time, they hired me to play bass, and I played with them. They used to call me Baby Blue, you know. They called me Baby Blue. That was my nickname on the BJ and the Soul Creation, that group. Yeah, and I was kicking then, boy. It was a lot of fun. We went everywhere. You know, we went everywhere playing in clubs and stuff like that. And I was a wild boy. I used to get down on the floor with the people playing my bass guitar and dancing right along with them. I sure did. And so,
you were very passionate about that.
very passionate, very passionate. You know, and my fellow musicians could see that. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to be like nobody, like them. But I said I want to be an original myself, and I did that. I ain't see nobody else doing it, so I did it. Anyway, and I went from there, and I still was playing with the gospel group and playing rock and roll at the same time, soul music on the band. I was playing both of them at the same time, and I got to a point where my heart was leading me to more to gospel, spiritual stuff, rather than being out there on the road playing in the clubs and stuff. And one day I went AWOL. I went AWOL. I actually went down to my father-in-law and mother-in-law. They was moving. I went to help them move when I was supposed to have been going to a gig. Boy, them guys came looking for me and found me. Boy, they were mad. I said, man, so I went with them and did that gig. You know, but after that, I was looking for my exit. I was trying to find my exit out of that. You know what I mean? Because my passion was going toward what I was feeling, what God did. You know what I mean? For me, so I did that. So I actually I didn't quit. The guys got the fussing and carrying on and arguing and stuff. That was my door. That was my door out of there. So I left. After that, I left. Hey, we all broke up. That's good. I'm gone. And then they came back to my house. Man, we trying to get the group back together again. I said, no, man, I ain't playing no more. That's it. That's it. You know, and I played gospel ever since. You know, playing in the church and stuff like that. Actually, playing with Matthew, with you know, with his family group, the Highway Travelers, and with the Golden Tone, playing with both groups. And we got to
And Matthew is who?
trumpet, my brother-in-law.
Your brother.
Yeah, we got to play anyway. So I started playing bass for the Highway Travelers, and trumpet was playing guitar. And cause we probably kind of like was doing both groups, you know. And he was his family, so he had to do his family group. So we got, me and him was just a kick. We used to play kick, played rip stuff. And that was some solid music back then, man. You know, real stuff. And I was on that bass and boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Walking that thing down real good. And shoot, man, I tell you, we were good. And I got to with the group, and I said, because he could play, but he wasn't. That's all they could do. And I wanted to help the group to develop into a better group, you know. So I started studying guitar. I started practicing, and my wife would tell you in the minute, say, we used to be in that trailer, and I would, you know, I do what I do, go to work and stuff, come home. I go in that room for about an hour or 2 hours, learning chords, learning guitar chords and stuff like that. And she'll tell you, I was consternated until I got to where I played around with the group we was playing, and it just kind of, trumpet just kind of let it go. He let me have it. And I started playing guitar for the group. So we needed a bass player. So I got my brother-in-law Shorty and started practicing with him. A lot of times I would, because I was the type of person who loved to practice. And I know that through that, a lot of my friends would tell me that's what it takes. You got to practice. You got to practice. If you want to be good, you got to practice. You know, you want to develop what you got, you have to practice. So we practiced, and a lot of times he didn't want to practice. I still went over to his house. Come on, man, let's get it. Let's do something. And when we used to go to these little churches in Columbia, boy, we would rock the house. You know what I'm talking about? Me and y'all be wide open. And the other musicians up there playing now, but we be on the back, on the side, hooked up too. Kick out the with that wah-wah. They'll tell you in a minute, used to have that thing crying, walking. And so, yeah. And so after Shorty, you know, kind of slacked up a bit, I got Mark. I said, I trained Mark to play bass. And he was a natural. I trained him to play. He was one of the ones didn't want to practice a lot too, but I made him practice. And then so the Howard's house was practicing one day, said, let's get some drums. So we bought a set of drums. Ain't nobody else to play them. So we said, Amp, get on them drums. Put Amp on the drums. In fact, the first one of the rehearsals when we had the drums was at my trailer, me and my wife's trailer. We put it in there. All of us got in there, and Amp just started. I said, just tick, tick, tick. That's all you do. And he kept tick, tick, tick till you got real good at it. And it got to where I got with them boys, Mark and Amp. I used to have them practicing every day, all the time. we got to a point where we get in the church service, and we play hours. I mean, no 10 minutes or 30 minutes. We play hours at a time, kicking it. You know what I mean? That's the way we brought up. So the whole time we were building up stamina. You know what I'm talking about? You know, we can go. Like I said, man, we were kicking it. We played at the auditorium downtown. I had them together. You know what I mean? I had that group together. We were together. I took them to other places where I had, another Caucasian friend that I knew play guitar. And we used to go to his. I said, let's go over his house. Went to his house because he did different music. But I had exposed them to something different. Okay, so we was playing it, and right there at Whole Life we was playing for hours and hours at a time. Everybody knew us for playing like that. You know, and then Joseph Patterson, I don't know if you know him. He came on the scene with that shout. You know, he knew like to shout a lot. That preacher. And he came on the scene, and he said, man, y'all boys about to wear me out, because he loved to shout. We had him, we would get that music going, and boy, he would shout almost as long as he played. You know what I mean? But it wasn't a show thing. It was a spiritual thing. We were, you know, because we were brought up right up there in that Holy Light, in that little trailer, that little bus. It was a bus they made out of church. Wow. And we played right there, man. We was just jam. I mean, I remember.
So the original church was a bus?
Yeah, the original church was a bus.
Wow.
They made Deco bus he's had. You know, Deco, all them bus. and then we just closed it up and had church. And we had church. And we used to go a lot of things, but we used to go to a whole lot of other churches. And I'm gonna tell you, I got guys to testify to me today when I used to go to the program with Matt and them. He said, "Man, I'm gonna tell you, back in the day when I was with me and Mark and Amp, he said back in the day, man, y'all, we heard y'all playing in there, and y'all had the house tore up, and we said we might as well go back home. Ain't nothing we can do." That's what the guy tell me. He said, "Ain't nothing we can do, because these guys done to the house."
The stage was taken.
Yeah, it was gone. You know, the spirit doesn't know what it done. Now, what they gonna do if you ain't got no spirit? You'll go in there. You can't do nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I tell you, that's how powerful we were. And Mark, I tell you in a minute. We started showboating a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? I started playing with my teeth, and I started putting the guitar behind my neck. I got Mark putting that bass behind his neck. He started playing.
Wow.
And we got, and it was, you know, we just doing things nobody did. You know what I mean? And and it just, yeah, I guess it blew our head up to do something like that. But we did it, man, and we was just really good like that. So that's just that stage of my life. You know what I mean? I'll tell you, but after that, I went to Florida. You know, I went to Florida, and I'm gonna tell you about my experience in Florida. I moved to Florida. I'm gonna tell you, man. I played when I went to Plant City. I'll tell you with an old lady. Excuse me. And I used to go in that back room because I always had a guitar. I had a guitar with me, and go in that back room, and she had company come, you know, to her house because we were staying right down there with Hughes at that time. Had company come to our house because we were staying there, and I used to go in the back room and started playing some real soft jazz, like if you were in a club, you're playing that soft music. I was back in there playing. She had people come from New York, her son's girlfriend, and another guy. They came and they were sitting to the dinner table, and I was in the back room just playing that stuff. He said, "Man, that guy sounds like somebody playing in a restaurant. You know, like in a club. When you play in a club." And he said, "Man, I heard him." He said that was really good. But yeah, man, that's what I did. Your music can touch people. It touches people. Well, and I said, like I say, but when I went there, I went to other churches down there and started playing with guys in other churches. Until I got on the group down there in Florida. There was a group in Florida. I can't think of it. It was a big choir. But we had the musician, you know, I was a guitar player, they had the bass player, we had the drums and piano and all that stuff. And man, we did some big programs together, you know. I was on them. I just took me at a party because where I was, I had to be doing something. Yeah. And I played with them for a while until I moved from there. And you know, I'm in Orlando.
Florida.
Yeah. Orlando, like I said, there's many churches that I went into. I was with Hughes now when I went to, if I'm allowed to say that, I went to these churches with him, and I was seeing the guitar players playing and the organ, all of them kicking. I said, I want some of that. Let me get some of that. And the guy invited me. I went on up there and hooked my guitar up. And I played with him, man. I played with him and played in the church. And the guy said, man, when the service was over, he said, listen, you can play with me anytime because you know, but the way I play, I didn't try to outdo him or override him in his house. I played with him and accompanied what he was doing. You know, and so that kind of stuff blessed me. You know, it blessed me to be humble, because in the beginning, God humbled me to be able to play. You know, His Spirit, He's put His Spirit, His zeal in me, and I wouldn't stop. And like I tell you, my sister used to say, "Why do you do that?" But that zeal was there. Yeah, that zeal was there. And I mean, I said, when I got started, I wasn't looking back. You know, and so I did a lot in Florida. Played, and then I got to a point. I went to Pastor Terry's church.
Okay.
Yeah. First off, we was playing in Pastor Haddett church. You remember Pastor Haddett? Yeah. Yeah. We went there, and me and Becky, we was preaching and playing, and we were talking. Me and her was talking about that just the other day, how we did when we was in Pastor Haddett church, because all of my children, all of y'all was involved in. You was trying to play on the bass a little bit. John was definitely on the drums, and them girls I was on they were playing that little toy piano, and Becky and my daughters were singing. You know, we were carrying on the traditional gift from where we come from, and like I said, and you know, when we did that, but when we come, before we even went to Florida, me and my your mama, we were playing and singing. We had a unit, just me and her, right? Me and her was playing and singing together. We were with the group, but we still had our own thing. You know what I mean? We were singing. And that's the same way we did with you guys when we went to Florida. We sung a family sing together. Sang and play. Yes, indeed. And so, yeah, well, that was that experience. And that was a wonderful experience.
I want to go back to something you said a little while ago. You said your music touched you.
Oh, yes. I said, for one thing, like this guy that I played with, to accompany what he was doing, adding to, not taking away. You understand? It's also the gift, but when like I said, when I would play, like when we was coming with Mark and Joe, we was playing. I'm telling you, that music, it makes you move. It'll make you move. It makes me feel. But my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, them used to always come and encourage me, get in front of me, play it. And and they, I'm gonna play it. And they look at that thing. They look at that today. Women used to say, "Man, you was so good." And even my father-in-law used to, because when I started playing the guitar, we going to different programs. Dick used to look, man. He was enjoying his seed, his children and stuff, sounding good. Not mediocre, but they were good. I mean, the Travelers were good. I'm telling, like I tell you, we get in the church and singing, playing, picking and stuff, and folks and these guys said, "Man, ain't nothing we can do. We going back home." But anyway, yeah. And I'll be playing and stuff like that, even now in the church. And my oldest brother-in-law, he would come. He was looking at me, play it, Rap, play it. Just close it. He said, play it. And I hit a couple of tunes. He closed his eyes. Ugh. He said, "Man," you said, it's going down in I feel it in my bones. Yeah. Yeah. He said, "Man, I feel it in my bones." And that was one occasion. On another occasion, and I was sitting there playing, and Shawty was talking, and my brother-in-law come up and said, "Play something for me. Play something." People be crying out sometimes to be touched. You know what I mean? And so I just played for him. I did a playing for him. I was happy to do it, and it made me laugh. I was just grinning because of the little tune I was playing was sweet. You know what I'm talking about? And he was in front of me, saying, "Rap." And then here come his sister, the preacher, Weemy. She said, "Play rap, play it." They just totally ignored Shorty up there talking. You know what I mean? Their brother talking, But and then my mother-in-law looked at it. Her and my wife were looking. They were smiling. They said, "Ooh, now I want to give you a personal invitation to come and play at my birthday party."
Awesome.
And I said, "I'll do it." Awesome. And then we went. And when we went to that birthday party, I'm telling you, I was in there playing with the guys, all of my guys, and one of my other brother-in-law saying, "Man, I saw you playing, and you was taking it to another level, and then you brought it back down. You didn't allow yourself to, you know what I mean? You brought it back down." I said, "Yeah." And I was just playing, and then my other brother-in-law was saying to my daughter and him, your daddy over there playing that guitar. He must be trying to get his wife back." Just showed it. You know, man, he over there playing that thing, man. I'm telling you, Bill, I ain't bragging on myself, but I see that. I can sit there, be there playing and looking at all the older men, and men be just staring. You know what I mean? And I was playing one time in a program, and a guy told me, I was playing with the highway traffic and playing. He said, "You know what, man?" He said, he played guitar too. He came to tell me and said, "You play just right with the other guitar player, because y'all don't bump heads. You know, it's just like you. It's like a fulfillment. You know what I mean? You know, other than being scattered like that, one band playing, we all played together, but you played your part to accompany what he was doing, what we were doing, all doing." And he said, "Man," said, "that's the way to play. You know, that's the way he told me. That's the way you got, and that is the way. You don't get up there. You know, I've been in some programs where guys will just get in there and just ram this play, show out just to get somebody to shout. You know what I mean? Just to get people to toe up. But if it ain't God, you know what I mean? You know, it's just everything you doing is just in vain. You know, it's a gift. God gives you that gift, and the Spirit moves you to do it. I'm like my mama used to tell me all the time. They used to call her Mew because she wouldn't sing unless she felt it. Yeah. If she didn't feel it, she wouldn't sing it. Yeah, and you know, so when I play, I'm making my business to, oh man, just to, you know, and I'm gonna tell you another thing. What happens? I taught a doctor, a Caucasian doctor friend of mine. I taught him for 3 years. I taught him for 3 years, and he had another guitar teacher that teach him notes and all that stuff. You know, went through some books and notes and stuff as well, but he wanted to stay with me because it's the way he feel. He wanted to feel like I feel. You know what I mean? Be able to, you know, feel the music, and hear it. You know, hear it and feel it. You know, without all the notes and stuff. You know, and a lot of times he would, you know, we was teaching him. We would go in, we would get in a certain area where we were playing, and he forget. And I said, just pick it up where you left off. He could never remember. He could never pick up. It's like he got to start all over again. That's bad habits, but I was telling him that. But you just feel, you know, because if you get to playing, and the music going on, you know what I'm talking about, and you miss something, you don't stop. You pick up where they at. Where you know, you just kind of pick back up with. Well, I had to teach him that. That was one of the things he couldn't do. But obviously he learned it now, because after them 3 years, he went on his own, doing his own thing, on a big band. Yeah. Okay. And what else?
Okay. I got a question. Without music, who would you be?
All I knew about myself was my surroundings. My surroundings were baseball, football, wrestling, you know, playing a little regular basketball, all that kind of stuff. You know, my environment, the environment that I was in. You know, I went to church and stuff and looked at it, listen to the music and stuff, but it never dawned on me. You know what I mean? It never did, you know. But like I said, when I moved out there, it wasn't that these other guys, they were playing, you know, but like I said, I didn't want to do what they were doing.
So it was not something that you actually desired.
I didn't desire it. And I didn't desire it. Like I said, I mean, out of the blue. Wasn't nothing. I said, I want to do it. I want to. Out of the blue, he put a zeal in me, you know, and I felt that. I felt it. Yeah, I felt that zeal. Man, you know, from then on, I had a desire. I wanted to play.
So that treasure was inside of
Yeah, it was already there. But see, I didn't know what he wanted me to do, and from then on, it made room for me. In Florida, Prophet James, when I went up there to play for him, he said, a star come down to grace us. Yeah. He was saying, and that, and I went to the big temple, you know, the temple in Alabama, and we went and played. I was playing that bass, and Prophet James was just looking. He was just looking. You know what I mean? You know, because he knew there was something there. Yeah, you know, so. And I think he really liked me, because when I stand up and testify, he stand up and smile. I thought, you know, he was stuff like that. So he, you know, men of God know spirit. You know, I'm talking about they know what's real and what's ain't. Anyway, so, and I had, like I said, man, I had another preacher tell me, he said, man, I'm going to tell you something. You play good, you know, but God showed me he's going to give you this, he's going to give you that. You're going to have animals around your house. You're going to have like a farm. And it came to pass. It came to pass. You know? And like I said, this other apostle, when I was going to his church, he kept looking at me. You know, kept looking at me. Then he gave me a scripture, Revelation 17. You know, he just said, that's you, you know. And so, while I was in the prayer line, he came out of his office, got up in front and prayed for me. He said, I see you numbered among the stars in heaven. Yeah. I feel it too, man. And he said that you will have no need of nothing. God said he will be your grocery. Yeah. Yeah, it's moving, man. This stuff is real. That's my life. You know, you see how he sustained me. I go to the hospital and stuff, and not a problem. You know what I mean? I go through whatever I have to go through, and he just, you know, things that would have took most people out of here. You know what I mean? And these people right now say, I told them how long I've been on dialysis. Whoa, most people don't be on about 10 years and they're gone, you know? Stuff like that. So, no, I'm about 21 years, you know? And I'm still kicking, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's not no goodness of my own, but it's because, hallelujah, because his grace and his mercy and what he chose to do in me. Yeah. So I'm still teaching. And my little students would call me master teacher. I'm not bragging on myself, but that's what they say. They can testify by themselves.
You didn't give yourself that title.
I didn't give myself that title. I didn't give myself that title. You know, that's all they know me for. Guitar player. I mean, preachers old back. Yeah, that guitar player would play when he's playing. He move his mouth just like that. I'll be in it. That's you know. My whole body be. I'll be just saying. I'll be. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
It's a part of. I mean, because you know, I've learned even when we went to Alabama to perform for those professional groups and stuff like that. You know, they looking for that. They're looking for that action. A lot of energy. You know what I mean? You know, when you get up there, boy, and you're singing. Nope, you can't. Nobody can get nothing from that. You know what I mean? And like you said, if you can't feel it, if you're not sincere and you can't feel it, don't expect nobody else to feel it. They can't. You know what I mean? And I've heard guys used to tell me, this lady, old lady, used to sing in the church, sang in the club. She said she would come in there, she would sing, and it's like she reached down in their hearts and pull out, touch him with her. So that show you that that's from God. That's no matter what other kind of craziness you do, she had that gift that can to do whatever it was supposed to do, to touch people and deliver, you know. So all that's a good part of that was the best parts of my life, and I still right now, like I was in the my studio the other day, and I was teaching another guy, a preacher, and the anointing fell so strong because it's like he gave me a revelation of what I was telling him. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't off the top of my head or something. I was there. It came like, oh man, it was a revelation that gave him, telling him a way to do what he needed to do. Yeah. I don't know how he received it like that, but God did it. If he did it, he must have meant it. He don't do something and it come back to him void. So it happened.
Can you play us a little something?
Yeah. I'll see what you want to play. That's good enough.